Welcome to another video. This is to help you and guide you through what you can do inside Promob. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually show you how to build a cabinet for an oven, and maybe we'll put a coffee maker in there, and we're going to make this from scratch, and then we're going to save it to our system so we could use it again. So what I've done, I've just created a scenario where I've got a 400 cabinet. So if we just say open, just so that you can see it's a wide cabinet. And in fact, I want to make that open the opposite direction. So let's just go down here and mirror that. So you'll see I've got that over there. And then I've got an opening of 600. And then I've got some cabinets here with a little worktop and a side panel, just to show you how you can put this all together. So once you've designed an area and you want to start working on it, what we have to do is we just have to click on the actual wall. It'll turn purple. And just by the way, on the side here, you'll see my mouse, an outline of my mouse. You'll see what I'm clicking. So all I've done there is to select that wall. I've just clicked my left mouse button. And then what I'm going to do is, while that is highlighted in the purple, I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to choose this one over here, which is Build Closet, and I'm going to left click there. It's now going to give me some options. I'm going to go to Kitchen, and I'm coming down to Cabinet for Appliances without a kick plate. This one is with a kick plate. This one's without a kick plate. I prefer to build them without a kick plate because my kick plate's going to run underneath it. It's not a permanent fixture. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over, I'm going to say OK. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring in this window over here. So let's make it bigger. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to see what I'm actually doing. Okay. So to make it simpler, I'm going to take this, I'm on here at 700. I actually want that to be 600. So up here, I'm going to make that 600. Enter. And now just to make it more user-friendly and easier to use, I'm actually going to move this and I'm going to actually place it where I actually want it. Now I know that this cupboard isn't the same size as that one, so I'm going to just change this. I think it's 2.1 if I remember right. 1100, there we go. And I want this to be 600 deep. 600 deep. So what I've done now, I've placed the cabinet where I want it within the drawing. I could have left it over here and just carried on. But by doing it this way, I can actually see how it's going to look and how I can line things up with what's already inside the drawing. Because now I can see where my worktop is, I can see the side panels, I can see where shelves are, whatever I want to do with it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the division section. And now we're going to divide this up into where we want things. Now, if I'm going to be doing an oven on its own, I'm going to line it up, obviously, with the worktop and make sure that the oven is sitting up here. But because I'm going to be doing an oven and let's do a coffee maker in the same unit, or could use a microwave, whatever you want, I'm actually going to lower the oven a little bit and then have the coffee maker above it. So what I'm going to do, let's start off. I need some horizontals. I'm going to click on the horizontal. I want fixed shelves. And I'm going to have a look here. I'm going to use a fixed shelf. I'm going to use this one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my cupboard. And you'll see these have now changed to orange. I'm going to just click on this with it being held. Rather than pressing insert down here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it in and let go. Now my partition, my shelf, whatever you want to call it, is sitting in the right, well, not necessarily in the right place, but it's in the cupboard. I'm going to need another one. So again, I can highlight the cupboard and I can bring in another one. And I'm going to bring in another one. So highlight above that and let's bring in another one. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click on the shelf and you'll see I've got some measurements here. So I'm going to make this one 600 high. So I'm just going to click. So from the bottom, 600, enter. I've now know from that shelf to the base of my cabinet, it's going to be 600. This one I'm going to click on, and I want to make that 600. Because that's where my oven is going to be. And then on this one, I'm going to make this one 400. Okay, that's where my coffee maker is going to go. Now, if I leave it like this and I go ahead and make it through, it's fine. I can add my stove and I can add my coffee maker, but the coffee maker is not going to work, or the stove's not going to work, because you need two shelves here, or two sections for the stove and for the coffee maker, because they overlap slightly, to actually mount them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one and I'm going to drag it inside here, and I'm going to drag it up so it butts up like that. So now I've got two panels there, a space there, space there, space at the bottom. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is let's put some drawers in at the bottom. So I'm going to go to the drawer section over here. I'm going to click the bottom because that's where I want my drawers to go. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the straight doors, and let's make the doors wood. And I'm going to give them a groove just to show you what it's going to look like. Okay. I need two drawers. With this highlighted, I now click Insert, and my two drawers are placed. Very simple. And now what I'm going to do is let's put in the oven. So I'm going to go to the internals. I'm going to take an oven. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to take the oven, drag it in, let go. Okay. And now I want to put a coffee machine in. I'm going to use this coffee machine over here. I'm going to click here, take the coffee machine and drop it in. So now I've got my oven and I've got my coffee machine in place. My drawers at the bottom are in place. And what I'm now going to do is this top piece, I'm actually going to make it a cupboard, some doors. So let's go to doors. Okay, I'm going to make it a groove door. But what I want to do here is I actually want to make it a lift door. So I'm going to say lift, groove, and insert. And let's put it in for me. Okay, so our cupboard is now made. So what we're going to do now is go down to the bottom and say apply. This takes a few seconds because what it's doing is it's calculating for cutting lists, things like that already for you. There you are, it's done. I'm going to say OK. And it's now brought that cupboard into my design. My other cupboards, obviously just normal flat cupboards, and they've got a color. These haven't got that yet. We can do that in a minute. But I just wanted to show you there is my cupboard. I've now got my stove, I've got my coffee maker, and I've got my cupboards. So on this open section here, I'm just going to say open all. Okay. We could stagger it a little bit. And then here I've made a mistake. It's actually opening down. I want it to open up. I want it to lift up. And also, if you look, everything else is correct. Oh, by the way, I can just click on the stove and I can just close that. So it's out of the way. Or I can just close it like that so that the stove is closed. But you'll see now the rest of it. That is correct. This is wrong. So what do you do? Because now obviously you've created this whole cupboard. And what are you going to do? It's not going to work if you need to change that door at the top. It's quite simple in Promob. Just right click on the cupboard. Okay. Go back down to Edit Closet again. It's just jumped onto my other screen. I'll just bring it back so you can see it. And you'll see that my doors, I'm still selected on doors. I can highlight that area there. And I can see that my door is saying there, I want to go to left. But instead of down, I want it to be up, like that. And I can click on my door. So while this is highlighted, like that, what I can do is on my keyboard I can press delete and it takes that door out. By clicking back on here like this, I'm now going to go back to my groove. I've got it left. Instead of down, I want it up. Insert. Now it's going to go up, apply, and OK. And now if we come to our sections and we say open all, you'll see that it now is lifting up. Okay, so we've actually built an oven with a coffee maker in it, which is great. That all works well. The problem that we've got is if I look at this whole section, I now need to just color things up. Okay, so by looking at this, we've got super white, and then we've also got the gray tops. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to say this groove, let's change this to a PG bison, let's use a vertical, and let's use something a little bit different, something that we'll be able to see a little bit. Let's use this Roman walnut, and you'll see that it's changed that because I've got this one now selected. Now let's say, for argument's sake, I'm happy with that, but what happens if I've got another job and I want to be able to do the same thing? I want to use that same cupboard, and I don't want to have to sit and go and build it. I've built it. It's exactly how I want it. Well, the advantage that you've got again in Promob is right-click on the cupboard, come down towards the bottom, down here, and you can add this to favorites. So what happens now is we're going to build a structure in our favorites for this particular unit. So what we could do is we can call this, what should we call this? Let's say oven tall unit. Okay, I'm going to add the dimensions. It is a tower, so I'm going to just put here oven unit. Okay, I could even put slash coffee. Okay, and we can use that same one, so I'm just going to copy and paste. When I say forward, it's going to give me a preview, and I can just move this preview the same way as you do with in your drawing. I'm happy with that preview. Forward. And now I can actually create, I've got some for legs, for stools, for islands. I've built an island, and I've actually saved the island the same way. So I could use that same type of island in another drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the favorites, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to call this oven units. Okay. While that's highlighted, I come down here and I say finish. And if I go to my favorites and I go to oven, there's my oven unit. So to show you, while I've got this one selected here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to remove it. So it's been removed completely. I'm going to take this unit and I'm just going to bring it in, drop it down. I'm just going to let go. It's at 150, and there you can see my oven unit is there. I hope this has helped. I'll be making more of these types of videos, so keep an eye out for them, and please subscribe, like, and come back. This is Promob South Africa. Thanks very much for your time.